Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to the Lewis Cooper Experience podcast experience number 13. It's just going to keep going on forever, isn't it? But yeah, I hope everyone is safe and well. I've got three things I want to talk about today. One is a non-spoiler review of Bill and Ted Face the Music, so if you're here for that, you're safe. No spoilers from me. I want to talk about the TV show Ted Lasso, which I absolutely love, and also I want to talk about the brand new Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. So that's three pretty cool things. So, first of all, Bill and Ted Face the Music, which came out in the cinema last year, which I didn't go and see because, pandemic, and I thought I'm not going to risk my well-being to go and see Bill and Ted because, truth be told, it's not a thing I have a massive love for. It's not something that brings up too much nostalgia in me, but I thought, I'll give it a look back when the world was a bit more normal and it was a new film that's coming out. I thought, yeah, I'll go see that. I'll go see a lot of films. But I'm kind of glad that I had to wait a bit because I rewatched the original two, which I hadn't really watched since I was a kid. And I remember watching it as a kid, but like I say, it wasn't really anything that ever really grabbed me. But I rewatched them recently, and I really like them significantly more because I'm an adult now and I appreciate things a lot more. And so I was quite looking forward to this one, and I'd heard good things about it. And it came out on Prime Video where I watched it, and it just come out for rental. It'd been able to buy for $13.99, which I didn't really want to spend that much. But then it was a rental for about $5, so I thought, yeah, I'll do that and I'll watch it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a tight 90 minutes, which is great. That's always a plus for any film. The cast is really good. Considering that Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter haven't played these characters for 30 years, probably more, they really slip back into them quite nicely. And as you see in the trailers, that they kind of play different versions of the characters during time, and it's really fun to watch them because they're clearly enjoying it and they're doing a great job of it. And Alex Winter pretty much retired from acting quite a long time ago, and he became a director and doing documentaries and stuff like that. But he was really good; he hadn't missed a step. It has their daughters in it as well. Who we saw as babies at the end of Bill and Ted Bogus Journey, and they're really good as well. They kind of have their own story that goes parallel with Bill and Ted's story, which I thought was quite well. It seemed to just move along nicely. There's a lot of quite nice cameos and stuff like that in it. I won't spoil any of them. It's a really good supporting cast. They've got a few current sort of comedy actors worked into there as well. And overall, I just thought it was a very efficient and enjoyable film. There's no point where it kind of wastes any time. It's pretty relaxed with the rules of time travel. There's no Back to the Future stuff here where it's you can't interact with this person or yourself in the past kind of thing. Because you'll change the future. It's not like an Avengers Endgame thing where if you do this happens. It's just kind of just whatever. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. But yeah, I think if you haven't watched it yet and you've been kind of on the fence about it, I think it's well worth a rental. If not, wait a bit longer and it'll probably be on Prime or something like that. But yeah, I was really happy with it. It's nice when they take an old property and reboot it, which I don't think anyone was really kind of clamouring for it. No one was kind of sitting there going I really need a Bill and Ted sequel kind of thing, because it's kind of one of those things that's it's been and gone, but they did it and they didn't mess it up, which is great. It's just an enjoyable film. So that gets a recommendation from me for sure. Bill and Ted Face the Music. Second thing I want to talk about is a not new, from last year, really, TV show called Ted Lasso, which if you've spoken to me in the past week, I've probably mentioned to you because I absolutely love it. It's on Apple TV, and people do this thing whenever you mention a streaming service to them. They go, "Well, I haven't got that one." And I go, "Oh, I'm just recommending it." There's a lot of streaming services now, and I get you can't have all of them. I don't want to have all of them. Everyone has Netflix and Prime and stuff, but after that, people get mad if you recommend a streaming service, and they go, "Well, I can't pay that as well." And I'm not saying you have to. I'm just suggesting it. But Ted Lasso it stars Jason Sudeikis, who's someone I've never really thought that much about, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but he pops up in films. He's a really good comedy actor and I like him, but I've never really kind of gone, I want to see him as the main guy in something. But he is superb in this. He plays the titular character Ted Lasso, who is an American football coach who moves to London to manage a Premiership English football team called AFC Richmond, which, as far as I know, is a made-up team. I think there is a Richmond team, but not this one. And it's the most positive and sort of heartwarming show I think you'll ever see. It's 10 episodes, half an hour-ish, maybe some about 35 minutes. I'm only halfway through it, which is why I'm talking about it, because I'm really enjoying it, but I'm taking my time with it. and it's just, his character is just the most overwhelmingly positive guy. Like, he lives to be a coach. That's his whole thing. And he just, he's not so fussed about wins and losses. He just wants everyone to be the best they can be, kind of thing. And it kind of toes that line to being heartwarming without being too much, like that being kind of trite or anything like that. And all the characters in it are really sort of well-rounded. There's no one that's really a cliche. Like, everyone kind of has something a little bit extra. Like, Ted Lasso is just this positive guy, but he's got a little bit of sadness in his life as well. And some of the players on the team, like, it highlights a couple of the players more than others. You've got the young kind of pretty boy who's the big star kind of thing, and then you've got the older member of the team who's the captain, who's a bit more no nonsense, and they kind of butt heads a lot, and it's all about Ted Lasso trying to get the team working. And like, it's one of those things where, if you're not, I'm not particularly a football fan. Like, I like football, I liked it more when I was a kid, but I don't watch football. But you don't have to. It's one of those things where the football is kind of the setting, and like, there is a bit of football in there, but it's not, it's not necessarily just for football fans. It's just, it's just the backdrop for the story and for the characters and that kind of thing. And it's a really nice, easy to watch, positive show kind of thing. Juno Temple is in it as well, and she's one of the best characters. She plays like a stereotypical footballer's girlfriend that you think at first. She's kind of a vapid sort of glamour girl, but she's got some brains to her, and she's a very kind-hearted character, and Ted Lasso kind of sees that, and they kind of connect from that as well. And she kind of lifts the people around her in some ways as well. But yeah, that's it's really, really enjoyable. Whenever I watch an episode of it, it makes me want to be a better person for about half an hour afterwards, and then I just go back to being the terrible person I am. But yeah, so I recommend it if you want to watch it and you want to not get mad at me about having to spend a $5 for a month for Apple TV. You can. The first 2 episodes are available for free. You don't have to sign up; you just need an Apple ID. That's all it is. Which I had to get for this because I've not got any Apple products. But yeah, you can watch the first 2 episodes at no cost, just on whatever you've got, and then you could do a 7-day trial and watch the remaining 8 episodes. There you go, sorted. Don't get mad at me. Don't. But yeah, Ted Lasso. I love it. It's great. So going on to our last thing, I'm just going to have a little sip of water here. Oh, I bet you love hearing that, don't you? Me drinking water. The trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong came out this week, which I've been looking forward to because it's not typically my kind of film. I heard the Godzilla films referred to as wet Transformers before, which is quite funny. But I like films that know exactly what they are and they kind of present themselves that way. That's a cool thing. And I like the Godzilla one from 2014. A lot of people didn't because there wasn't enough Godzilla in it. And some people. So for the sequel, King of the Monsters, they're like, right, you want more monsters? So here's all the monsters. And that was just, it was just a big smashy monster film, and it was quite enjoyable. But and Skull Island as well, I quite enjoyed. But I'll get into that in a sec. Because we know for a while they were building up to this, and King of the Monsters was like the first big step in that direction. King of the Monsters really benefited because I saw it on a big screen, and I would love to see this on a big screen because you got 2 big monsters going at it, and see it in IMAX would be amazing. But I mean, it's probably not going to happen because it's being released in some cinemas in America and overseas, and it's going to be on HBO Max in America, which means we'll probably have to pay full rental price for it over here, and I'm going to have to watch it on that little TV you see behind you there, which isn't really quite the same, but it's quite tragic really, rather than a big IMAX screen. But maybe when things are a bit safer, they might re-release it and I'll be able to see it on a big screen. Who knows? But that's my only real gripe. I mean, other than that, I'm totally down for it. But obviously, if that can't be helped, and that's not the worst thing to come out of the situation that we're in, that I can't watch films on a big screen, is it's far from it. That's pretty low down the list. But yeah, like I say, I liked Kong Skull Island, which is where we first saw this version of King Kong, and they'd made him a lot bigger because than he has been before, because the plan was for him to go and fight Godzilla, obviously, and Godzilla's enormous. He's literally Godzilla. But Skull Island was set in the 70s, I believe, and obviously this is set in modern day, so Kong's had about 50 years of growing in between. I saw people complaining saying they'd made Godzilla smaller, and I just think, no, they just made Kong bigger, but I don't know, who cares? Why get bogged down in that? Also, some eagle-eyed people have spotted Mecha Godzilla in the trailer, supposedly. That's just kind of, I don't think that's been confirmed yet, but that's pretty cool. Maybe potentially, whenever you get a movie like this, like a superhero movie like Batman vs Superman, where there's a versus, it normally ends up with the 2 heroes teaming up, that they don't really fight. But there has been promise in this one that they will have a good scrap and there will be a clear winner, I've seen. But I mean, I don't know, that might just be conjecture. Because you're going to alienate one fan base over the other. Not that there's really a big kind of argument. People are just sort of going who would win kind of for fun. It's kind of the old Batman Superman argument over who would win. But yeah, it's one. I say I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see. Like I say, they might end up teaming up against Mechagodzilla. Maybe that's going to be the way they go about it. But yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch on a small screen rather than the big screen. Like I say, that's my only real gripe. But yeah, it should be cool. Anyway, that's about it from me today. 3 topics I've covered pretty swiftly there in about 10 minutes or so not bad going. But yeah, please leave a like, please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment on any of your thoughts on what I've talked about. And thank you for watching. Take care. See you soon.